Let's set the record straight. This isn't another get-rich-in-5 steps guide. There's no secret handshake, no hidden website, and no magic script that makes money rain from the sky. If you're looking for shortcuts or miracle cures, stop. Now, you won't find them here. Real wealth isn't about hacks or gimmicks. It's not a lottery ticket or a lucky break. Real wealth is built on strategy. An approach that tilts the odds in your favor using math, psychology, and leverage. Because wealth isn't random. It follows patterns. Patterns of behavior, systems of value creation, and principles of scaling, impact. And if you understand these patterns, you can rewrite the game entirely. Why most wealth advice fails. Most people chasing money look for quick answers, a business idea, a stock tip, or a side hustle that will finally make things click. They search for what to do, but they rarely ask the deeper question, how should I think? That's why vague advice like stay persistent or work hard falls flat. Persistence at the wrong thing just leads to burnout. Hard work in the wrong system leads to nowhere. You can pour years into climbing a ladder, only to realize it's leaning against the wrong wall. Take Mike, for example. He was determined to succeed. Every morning, he woke up before dawn, worked late into the night, and hustled harder than anyone else in his office. Yet after 5 years, he found himself stuck in the same position, earning barely enough to cover his expenses. Why? Because he hadn't stopped to evaluate whether his efforts were aligned with a winning strategy. On the flip side, consider Sarah. She didn't start with more talent, resources, or connections than Mike. What she had was clarity. Instead of blindly following conventional wisdom, she studied successful entrepreneurs, analyzed their strategies, and reverse-engineered their success. She realized early on that working harder wasn't the answer. It was working smarter. By focusing on high-leverage activities and automating low-value tasks, she achieved financial independence in half the time. The lesson? Wealth isn't just about what you do. It's about how you think. Without the right mindset, even the best tactics will fail. The formula for real wealth. There is a pattern, a mathematical and psychological code, that stacks the odds in your favor. Here's what actually works. Leverage scale. Imagine 2 scenarios. Scenario A. You work as an employee for one company, trading your time for a fixed salary. Scenario B. You create a product or service that solves a problem for thousands or even millions of customers. Which scenario has greater potential? The answer is obvious. One employer equals slow growth. Thousands of customers equal exponential results. Think about Jeff Bezos. When Amazon started, it wasn't just another bookstore. It was a platform designed to scale infinitely. As demand grew, so did its infrastructure, allowing it to serve millions of customers worldwide. Today, Amazon generates billions in revenue because it leverages scale effectively. Now apply this principle to your own life. Are you limiting yourself to serving one boss or client? Or are you building something scalable, something that can reach a wider audience and generate recurring income? 2. Control the system. If someone else controls your income, they control your life. Period. Whether it's your boss deciding your raise, your landlord hiking your rent, or the government taxing your earnings, external forces dictate your financial future when you rely on others for your livelihood. Owning the system changes everything. Instead of being a cog in someone else's machine, you become the architect of your own destiny. This doesn't mean quitting your job tomorrow. It means gradually shifting toward ownership. Maybe you start by freelancing on the side. Then, launch a small business, and eventually build assets that operate independently of your daily involvement. Meet Alex, a software developer who spent years climbing the corporate ladder. While his colleagues focused on promotions and bonuses, Alex quietly invested in learning how to build SaaS, software as a service, products. His first app failed miserably, but his second gained traction. Within 3 years, he sold it for 6 figures and used the proceeds to fund his next venture. Now, Alex owns multiple businesses that generate passive income while he focuses on innovation, not survival. Detach time from money. Here's the brutal truth. If your income stops when you stop working, you're trapped. True wealth comes when money flows, whether you show up or not. This concept is often referred to as passive income, but it's not about sitting back and doing nothing. It's about creating systems that produce consistent results without requiring constant input. Consider Lisa, a graphic designer turned entrepreneur. For years, she traded hours for dollars, designing logos and marketing materials for clients. Then, she decided to package her expertise into an online course. After months of effort, she launched the course, and within weeks, it began generating sales automatically. Today, Lisa earns royalties from students around the globe while spending less time actively working. Detaching time from money requires upfront investment, whether it's time, energy, or capital. But the payoff is freedom. Once you've built a self-sustaining system, you're no longer tied to the grind. No one's going to do it for you. Most people expect wealth to come with a guide, a mentor, or a perfectly laid-out map. They dream of finding a guru who will hand them the keys to success. But the reality? The road is unpaved, under construction, and full of obstacles. No one's handing out millions. No one's going to build your path. Even the best mentors can only point you in the right direction. You still have to walk the journey yourself. Remember John? He attended countless seminars, read dozens of books, and followed every piece of advice he could find. But despite all his preparation, he remained stuck. Why? Because knowledge alone doesn't create wealth. Action does. It wasn't until John stopped waiting for permission and started executing his ideas that he saw real progress. This is the crossroad. You stand at a pivotal moment. You can choose between two paths. Option 1. Follow the same road as everyone else. The slow, overpromised, and underdelivered path of work, save, retire at 65. Sure, it's familiar. It feels safe. But let's be honest, it's also suffocating. Trading decades of your life for a distant promise of security is a gamble most never win. Option 2. Break the pattern. Understand the formula, take control, and build a life where money works for you instead of the other way around. This path requires courage, discipline, and resilience. It won't always be easy, but it will be worth it. There's no magic, just strategy. That works. At the end of the day, there's no secret sauce, no mystical incantation, no overnight transformation. Building wealth is about strategy, a deliberate, calculated approach that maximizes your chances of success. But strategy alone isn't enough. Execution matters, consistency matters, grit matters. So, are you ready to step off the treadmill and onto the fast track? Are you willing to embrace uncertainty, face challenges head-on, and commit to mastering the wealth code? The choice is yours. And remember, the road may be tough, but the destination is worth it.